Lesson 35, topic, creative magic, its abilities and limitations. Lesson 35, part 1. Greetings, brothers and sisters. In this lesson, I wanted to talk to you about a truly important topic for those of you who already possess a high level of mental capacity, a connection with the universe and with the Father, so that you can carry it out. It is about creative magic. In reality, with a creative magic, you can do whatever comes to mind. Ideally, what you think, what you want to do should be in accordance with the plans that the Father has regarding the matter you are considering. If it has no relation to the plans or is contradictory, then what will occur will be a negative effect. It may be carried out, but not as you wish, and it will cause harm to the person performing the creative magic ritual and to the elements that make up the environment where the magic is cast, lending credibility to change anything. The Father's plans regarding the environment you wish to change need not be known to any human like yourselves. The Father's mind is far beyond your understanding. You can only scratch the surface. Even if you meditate at a deep level, He will give you the knowledge you need to carry out His plan. He would never wish you any harm. Ideally, you should first consult whether your plan aligns with His. You can do this with a question, as I have explained in previous lessons, but in reality, your intuition will tell you if it is connected to the Father. The answer is very quick. However, the creative magic process you wish to perform does not necessarily correspond to 100% of the Father's plans. Sometimes there is a certain feedback loop between what He desires and your perception of reality. But this only occurs in cases where communication is very intimate between the Father and the one performing the ritual. Having said this, and having achieved the above, the intimate communication between the Father and you, the process of creative magic begins with this very communication between the Father and you. Once this has been achieved, you are visualizing the channel, which is strong enough to be maintained for the necessary time. The process of creative magic can now begin. To do this, you must connect with the mind of the Father through this channel, sending an image of what you wish to achieve. This image should be as realistic as possible, including the feelings of the surroundings that people in that reality, the vision you wish to bring to fruition. You can also include names and facts if you wish. The more information you provide, the better the outcome. You send all this energy, all this information through the open channel. This information will reach the Father directly. Whether it arrives directly or through intermediary angels is unknown. It doesn't depend on your request, but rather on the complexity of the task in this creative magic. In other words, it depends on the number of elements that must be put into action to effect a certain change, according to the direction in which you wish to perform the ritual. If there are few elements, your work of sending the necessary information through the channel to the Father will not be as demanding as if there were many. If there are only a few of them, communication will be directly with the Father, or with the Father's lower level. In the previous lesson, I explained the two levels of the Father, from the 6th level of reality or with the intermediate angels who are on the 4th or 5th level. It all depends on the complexity. The universal mind that controls everything will be responsible for assigning this information to the necessary element of the angelic hierarchy that handles the transfer of information. Once you have charged the system with the information you want to send, you will perceive how the energy has reached a maximum level. When you are certain that the energy you have sent has spread sufficiently for the intermediate angels to act to carry out the required changes to fulfill your request, you will feel how the information you have sent feeds back to you. You will see the possible result of your interaction with the higher levels of reality. The time you will have to spend in that phase of sending the information and waiting for the reception of the signal, indicating the possible result of your interaction with the higher levels of reality, is unknown. Sometimes you will have to do several sessions, especially if the elements are in the midst of strong conflicts. In that case, one session might not be enough. Your mind has a limit. You can't maintain a very high energy level for longer than a certain amount of time. You can't withstand it. Creative magic is usually used to achieve some something truly complex. What I advise is that you be in a place with very high energy, which will aid your mental process for at least 3 or 4 sessions, so that your mind can endure a ritual for a certain period. I advise that if what you want to accomplish is very complex, it should be done by a group of people involved in the ritual who are performing the mental process in unison, all sending the same information. This way, time can be used much more efficiently. You don't need so many sessions. You can achieve the goal much faster. Sometimes, when the group doesn't have much strength, and one person has exceptionally much strength, it's advisable that the others use their individual mental energy and send it to that person, who will act as both the receiver and the transmitter of that individual energy. It will communicate with the higher levels of reality, send the information, and therefore receive the response, indicating the possible effects of your creative magic. The information about when this ritual can act, when it will have the desired effect, is unknown. The effects may not be immediately apparent. They can range from profound to superficial, and this will change everything you have planned. There are many ways to see reality, but when one observes reality from a higher perspective, one realizes that reality has many facets and that not everything is so obvious. Appearances are often deceiving. So, end of part 1.